party people. My name is Emily and this is the Movement Clinic. Today we are going to focus on the upper body, so specifically our upper back and shoulders, and getting a little bit more fluidity and movement there and warmth in a place that tends to feel a little stuck and stiff and cranky on most of us. So let's go ahead and get started. So first we're gonna get started in child's pose. So go ahead, come onto your mats, bring your big toes to touch. Knees can be a little further apart for this first one. And go ahead and walk your hands forward, soften your forehead down to the mat. Pressing forward and down through your hands to really allow those sit bones to sink towards your heels a little bit more. Smooth out and lengthen your inhales and exhales. And with your next inhale, lift your forehead away from the mat. Walk your hands over to the right as though your belly button could stack on your right thigh, chest could stack on your right knee. Even though that might not happen, that's the direction we're moving in. And left hand stacks on top of the right. Drop the left shoulder and press forward and down to send that left sit bone towards the heel a little bit more. Breathe into that left lung as though you could expand those ribs like fish gills. Then with your next inhale, walk your hands through center. Again, belly button and heart are gonna stack on top of that left leg in theory. Plant your left hand, right hand on top of that. Drop the right shoulder. Press forward and down through the hands to sink the hips to the heels. And then breathe into that right lung to expand those ribs. Good. And now walk your hands back through center. And walk them back slightly. If your knees are wide, bring them together so that your belly is coming in contact with your thighs, but your heart and chest have a little bit of lift. Pick up your right hand, move it behind the left to come into a more lifted thread the needle. Or maybe lower, depending on what you're used to. Soften your forehead down to the mat or your temple. And again, an active arm in that left arm. So I like to come up onto fingertips, really lift my armpit away and turn it to face my chin so that I have my shoulder blade broadening across my back. Starting to wake up some movement patterns that we're looking for in our yoga practice. Good. Now press down through your left hand to lift up. Plant your right hand. Pick up your left hand, thread the needle. Soften your left temple down. Keep that right arm active. Maybe come up onto fingertips. Press forward and down through the fingertips. And broaden your right shoulder blade across your back by bringing that armpit to face your chin. Good. Now plant your right hand, press away to unwind. Stay in this lifted child's pose. So again, belly is in contact with the thighs to secure our low back in place. We're going to really isolate our upper back in a twisting motion. And take your left hand and place it behind your head and wrap your forearm to stay close to your cheek and ear and the side of your face. Take an inhale here. Exhale, draw the low belly in and twist the heart to the left. Notice that you can't take your lower weight, your lower body with you at all and how small this movement is. Inhale back to center. Exhale, low left belly draws in to help us twist. Inhale back to center. Keep that arm close to your cheek. Exhale to twist. Good. Inhale back to center. Plant your left hand, right hand behind the head. Lengthen your ears out of your hips. Inhale. Keep that forearm close to your cheek. Exhale, low right belly draws back. Find the twist. Inhale back to center. Look at how small these movements are, really. Exhale to twist. Inhale back to center. Exhale, twist. Good. Inhale back to center. Plant your right hand. Come to a tabletop position. Shift your weight over to the left, pick up your right foot and step it outside of your right hand in this low lunge position. Reach your right fingertips to the sky, but bend the elbow now and just start to roll out the shoulder and shoulder blade in all directions. This is my very crackle, poppy, snappy shoulder. It's all right. There's just lots of ligaments and tendons and things in there, helping us to move and be so mobile in this joint. So nothing to worry about per se when you hear some noises. Keep moving this shoulder blade in all directions. And then start to lengthen out the hand and allow, or the arm rather, and allow the hand to make these big sweeping rock star circles. And slowly release your right hand back inside of your right foot. Sweep the right foot back, come back to your tabletop position. Lean over to the right, pick up your left foot, step it forward. Inhale, left fingertips to the sky, and then soften that elbow and start to make those nice big circles. Focus on moving the shoulder blade in all directions. Maybe reverse the direction of those circles. Good. And now maybe lengthen out the arm and allow the hand to make these big sweeping movements. And slowly release your left hand back inside of your left foot. Come back to tabletop. And we're gonna stay here in tabletop. Kind of do a little of the same, but in a more lifted position. So, draw the low belly in. Inhale, right fingertips to the sky, wide open twist. Exhale to thread the needle. So right hand moves behind the left. Left temple, shoulder, all the way to the back of the right hand, come onto the mat now. It is very common for this left hip to start moving forward, right? We want to take the pelvis with us. Wrap that outer left hip back. And then again, I like to come up onto these left fingertips and press away to roll my top shoulder back any amount. Good. Plant your left hand. Inhale, press down, unwind, reach your right fingertips to the sky. Exhale to release right hand down. Inhale, left fingertips up. Thread the needle on this side. Watch that outer right hip. If it's moving up and towards your face and shortening that right waist, lengthen the hip back. And then again, I come up onto my right fingertips, press down and away to roll that top shoulder back, any amount. Wonderful. Plant that right hand, press away as you inhale, unwind, reach up. And exhale, release left hand down. Walk your knees back to come into a supported plank position so that you can lower to your bellies. Resist gravity. Keep lifting the front of the body into the back of the body and stretching your heart forward as you lower in one piece. Plant your fingertips again outside of your mat at about shoulder height. Untuck your toes. Press into the tops of the feet so much the knees lift. And inhale to lift up, cobra. Exhale to release. Try rolling the shoulders out as you lift up. Inhale, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, roll them forward. So playing with cobra a little bit and really focusing on releasing those shoulder blades. Inhale to roll us back as we come up. Press down into the feet. Exhale, rolls it forward. Let's do that again. Inhale to roll us up and pause. Now from here, maybe just start to squeeze the left shoulder blade onto the back and send the right shoulder forward. And switch left shoulder forward as the right shoulder blade draws back. And keep reversing. Rocking side to side. And pause at the top. Draw the ears back as you send the heart forward and press the shoulder blades onto the back as though they were made of weights. If your shoulders are way up in your ears, soften them down by releasing the elbows down towards the mat a little bit more. And exhale, release. Plant your palms underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes, press into your knees. Lift your belly button, but not your ribs. Lift the front tips of the shoulders. Begin to press into the palms and try to get that sensation of hollowing in the armpits as you lift up in one piece. Ooh, those are some elbows, snap, crackle, popping. With the toes tucked under, come to your first down dog of class. Focus on lengthening the spine first and then the legs if there's room. So if the back is rounding at all, bend the knees and lengthen your hips out of your ears so that ears can soften between shoulders. Absorb the floating ribs into the back of the body and soften your inner heels down to the mat any amount as you press your thigh bones back. Good. Inhale, gaze forward outside of that right pinky finger and lift your right leg to the sky. Exhale, step your right foot wide outside of the right hand. Drop your left knee gently. Press down into your front foot. Inhale to rise. Come up, reach up. A sort of wide, low lunge. Now, keep the pelvis at neutral or as neutral as possible. Lift the low belly up and in, narrow the waist. Wrap the outer left hip forward as you draw the right sit bone back towards the back heel, finding squaring in those hips as much as you would like. Inhale, lengthen up through the fingertips, lengthen the side bodies, narrow the waist. Exhale, bend the elbows and lift the heart to the sky. Good. Release the hands to the sides. Again, inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend the elbows, stretch your heart to the sky. Again, inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend the elbows. Good. This time, inhale, reach up. Exhale, right hand to right hip and reach up and overhead with your left hand. So side bending to the right, low belly is drawing in. We're still working on squaring these hips. Take another inhale here. Lean forward. Exhale, draw your low right belly back and press this left shoulder blade forward to release your left forearm outside of your right thigh and find a supported twist. Now, I'm not using my forearm to really leverage this. I'm using my core so that I can float my hands at any time to hold this. Good. Inhale to unwind, reach up. Exhale, plant your palms inside of your front foot. Lift the back knee, step back to plank. Lower your knees to keep it nice and gentle, or don't, or you can sweat it out and party on. As you exhale, lower to your bellies in one piece. Keep resisting gravity as you go. Plant the tops of the feet, press down, lift the kneecaps. Grab those cupcakes as you plant your fingers wide outside of your shoulders. And inhale, roll it up. Pause at the top. Drop the elbows down or squeeze your elbows in towards one another so they face the floor. Low belly is lifted. We're pressing into those feet, and the weight of our shoulder blades, as though they were 50-pound weights, is pressing our chest forward. Excellent. And with your next exhale, roll the shoulders forward to come on out. Press down into the hands, tuck the toes, use the knees or don't, no matter what, lift up in one piece. Exhale, down dog. Gaze outside of your left pinky finger and inhale, left leg to the sky. Exhale, step it wide outside of the left hand. Soften the right knee towards your mat. By the power of pressing down into that front foot and lifting the low belly, come on up. Find that neutral pelvis and then see how you can, with that lift of the low belly, so getting the pelvis in neutral first, start to send your left sit bone towards your back heel as you wrap your outer right hip forward. So finding this squaring of the hips to the top of the mat. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend your elbows, lift your heart to the sky. Good. Inhale, reach up. Bend your elbows, lift your heart. Last one, inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend your elbows, lift your heart to the sky. Hold here. Now remember that feeling of the shoulder blades being so weighted that they pressed into the chest. Now imagine that you scoop the shoulder blades underneath your armpits to lift the chest. Lift your heart to the sky. Lift the upper back away from the low back. Keep drawing the low belly up and in. And inhale, lengthen your fingertips behind you. Good. Exhale, come back up. Left hand releases to your left hip. Inhale, lengthen up through those right fingertips and reach up and overhead, side bending to the left. Take another inhale here. Lengthen forward. Exhale, low left belly draws back as your right shoulder blade presses forward so that you can find a supported twist, right? The idea is to be able to hold this with our abdominals by engaging our obliques across from our left low belly up into our upper right ribs so that we can hold ourselves here. Good. Inhale back to center, reach up. Good. Exhale. Plant your palms or fingertips inside of that left foot. Lift your back knee. Step forward, wide-legged forward fold. Right foot lands outside of the right hand. Bend your knees as much as you need to. And ragdoll for a moment. You can rock side to side, keep a nice generous bend in your knees. As really the upper body moves so that the belly button and heart are moving side to side over the thighs and knees. Good, bend your knees generously, release your fingertips to the mat. Inhale, roll up to rise. Reach up, look up. Exhale, palms to your heart. Good. If it's comfortable for you, soften your gaze so much so that it seems as though you're looking through your eyelashes. Or maybe even close your eyes entirely. Whatever you're comfortable with. And you can release your hands gently to your sides. Notice how your shoulders and shoulder blades feel on your body now. Is there some awareness there, some heat, some warmth? Good. With your feet still planted as wide as your sticky mat, inhale, reach your arms overhead, float the eyes open, look up. Exhale, fold forward, bend your knees as much as you need to make this accessible so that your palms or fingertips can meet the mat. Inhale, find a halfway lift. Again, fingertips come under shoulders, bend your knees, pick up the left foot, float it back. Soften the left knee to the mat. Press down into the front foot, reach up. Find that squaring of the bony hip points to the top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen up through your fingertips, neutral spine. Exhale, bend your elbows, lift your heart open, hold here. Inhale, press the shoulder blades forward and up to lift the chest. Exhale, soften. Inhale, lengthen up through your right fingertip or through your fingertips. Right hand comes to right hip or maybe lands outside of your right hip on the floor as you reach up and overhead with your left hand. Good. Inhale, lifts us up. Bring your palms to meet at your heart. Lean forward. Exhale, low right belly draws back. Left shoulder blade presses forward to twist. Now here in this prayer variation, you can press that top hand into the bottom hand, but make sure that the belly is still engaged here. Low right belly draws back. Left shoulder blade is actively pressing forward. You can stay just like this or tuck the back toes under, press the back heel back and down to lift the knee for high lunge variation. Good. Inhale to unwind slowly, reach up. If you're not in a high lunge, meet us there. Good. And we're going to come through center. Plant your back heel. Come through horse or goddess. Both toes are turned out. Draw the lift to the low belly up and in. Curl your sit bones under. Hug the floating ribs back. Try to stack your shoulders on your hips. Good. And other side. So begin to turn your back toes to the back of the mat. Toe heel your left foot wide and soften your right knee onto the mat. Inhale, reach up. Find that squaring of the hips. Lift the low belly. Exhale, bend your elbows. Lift your chest to the sky. Inhale, press the shoulder blades forward and up. Exhale to soften something here. Inhale, reach up. Bring your palms to meet at your heart. Low left belly draws back. Right shoulder blade presses us into a twist. Again, keep all of the support that we know now to have to keep us here without wrenching us here. And if you would like, lift the back knee, press the back heel back and down. Good. Inhale, unwind, reach up. Good. Press the front leg straight. Begin to turn all 10 toes to the long edge of your mat. Pinky edge side of the feet are parallel to the front and back edge of the mat and fold forward. Nod the head yes, shake the head no. Allow the neck to be soft. Here I like to just grab opposite elbows and allow my forearms to rest so there's the feeling of my shoulders and shoulder blades sliding off the back. Make sure you're pressing away through the feet as though you could make footprints in your mat, so much so you're lifting the kneecaps. Good. Plant your fingertips underneath your shoulders. Inhale, lift halfway. Turn your heels in again, toes out. Press down into the feet. Curl the sit bones under, zip the low belly up and in. Stand up in horse. Bring your palms to meet at your heart. Good. Inhale, reach out and up. Good. Exhale, bend your elbows, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend your elbows, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Last one, inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend your elbows, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Good. Inhale, reach up, press the legs straight. Turn all 10 toes to face the front of the mat. Release your fingertips to frame the front foot, step forward, fold forward, top of the mat. Inhale, lift halfway, bend your knees as much as you need to. Maybe float fingertips to shins if you need to. Exhale, fold and melt forward. Good. Now toe heel your feet as wide as your sticky mat. Turn your heels in, toes out, just like we did in horse, and sink your hips to your heels for a Malasana squat or something close. Now the nice thing here is that if you have a really hard time holding this, you can take blocks or cushions or anything, stack them on top of one another to create a perch for yourself. So, whether you need it or not, go ahead and find yourself in your Malasana squat. And you have a choice here. You can make this as active as you would like. So you can press your elbows out into your knees, press your knees back into your elbows, and lengthen your heart towards your thumbs as you draw your thumbs back to your heart. So this really challenged, resisted place of that kind of pushing into one another. Or you can soften the backs of your hands in front of you and really round forward. Allow the shoulder blades to wrap wide, and soften your forehead down to the mat. Allow the weight of your head, that big, beautiful brain with all those thoughts, to help release and lengthen your neck, especially the back of the neck that spends so much time being compressed. You might even feel a sense of tugging or pulling down between your shoulder blades. Good, and very slowly, if the head is lowered, lift the gaze. We're going to make our way to a seat from here. So whether you need to plop back or support yourself with a hand behind you, whatever that looks like, I like to reach forward and really round and protract my shoulder blades. So resist the weight of my body going back by really energetically reaching forward to slowly come to a seat. Go ahead and lie onto your back. Plant your feet, bend your knees. Bring your arms out side to side, palms face up. Float your feet into the air. Squeeze your inner legs together. Shins are parallel to the earth. Knees are above-ish your hips. Take an inhale here. And exhale the knees to the left. Root down and anchor through your right shoulder. Knees can be as close to or as far from your left armpit as feels right for you and feels right for this hip and this side of your back. Keep that gentle narrowing of the waist, that gentle zipping up of the low belly. Notice if you're using any part of your neck or your jaw to help hold you here, and soften. Excellent. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, draw the low belly in to float the legs back up. Pause. Take another breath here. Inhale. Anchor down through your left shoulder and shoulder blade. Exhale, send everything over to the right. Again, soften your gaze or close your eyes, soften your jaw, soften your neck. Inhale deeply here. Exhale, draw the low belly in, float the legs back up. Good. Hug your knees into your chest. Lift your forehead towards your knees, wrap your arms around your shins, maybe reach for opposite elbows, whether you can find them or not. But curl up into a tiny little ball. Take up as little space as possible. Feel the skin between your shoulder blades stretching. Get a little smaller, squeeze a little harder. Good, and slowly release. Let the legs go long. Let the arms come out to your sides. Shoulder blades come underneath you and down the back. You may choose to place a hand over your heart and one over your belly. Allow yourself to soften deeply here. The entire front of your body relaxes into the back of your body. And notice as that sense of containment releases, as your skin and every cell of your being relaxes out into the ether as though you were made of water and you could fill the room. And lie here in Shavasana for as long as you'd need. Take as much time in stillness as you can. I'll see you next time. Namaste.